This episode is brought to you by the Ghoulish Gallery, Movies for Days, Dewey Pod Monster, The Aardvark and Magic Moshi Do Red Dwarf, Video Tasties, Voices from the Mausoleum, You Gonna Eat That Crust, and Pop Culture Reflections, all members of the You Run Podcast Network, all available at yourunpodcast.com. Always gets me dancing.
I know that was look.
Yeah,
That's me dancing without trying not to make too much noise.
Hello and welcome back to the You Run Podcast True Crime Flavour.
Yeah.
My name is Scott.
And I'm Heather.
And twice a month we take you through cases picked by you, sharing our opinions along the way. The first of our cases the first episode each month covers all the details of the actual case. And the second, which you're listening to now, gives additional information extending on what we've already discussed, which is why we called it Extended Cut. If you've never listened before, hello, first of all, welcome.
Yeah.
Me and Heather are nice. Stay. Listen to some more.
I mean, we're nice, but we're going to argue. We're going to have budding opinions on this episode.
We 100% are. We are different to most other true crime podcasts. We still give you all the facts, but we are opinionated as fuck, I think is the politest way to put it. We don't shy away from how we feel. We don't give you the case. We give you all the facts, but then we will have a lopsided view on it. Sometimes we agree. In fact, most of the time we agree. Today, our opinions are not aligned even a little bit.
Nah, probably not. Like from what I'm understanding. No, I look bald headed, by the way, but I'm not. You guys, like, look, I have doo-doo balls. I took a shower and then was like, I gotta just throw my hair up so y'all can kind of see them. I'm not bald.
Yeah, anyone who's watching on YouTube and now on Spotify as well, Heather's hair is very Princess Leia today.
Yeah, but I'm growing it out too. So like, and then it's shaved underneath, and I have to decide if I want to grow the shaved out, which first world problems because that's going to take 25 years. I don't know. Why did I do it anyways?
It will have grown out by the time you reach retirement, though. Think of it that way.
It takes a long time. It would take me probably like a year to really, because I would have to chop the rest of my hair off and I have to start back short and then I'm just going to leave it undercut. I don't care.
Yeah, I think you're right. A quick warning before we get going. This episode will discuss abuse, acts of violence, including murder, and excessive use of social media while on parole. Excessive use while on parole. If any of these things sound like they're going to offend you, why are you listening to a true crime podcast, first of all? And secondly, now's probably your time to dip out.
Do I need to do a PSA for the true crime show too?
No, I tell you what, I might
not that bad.
I might get Mark to do one. We'll drag Mark over to do a warning for this show.
Just tell him to open his mouth when he says the stuff so we know what he's saying.
Yeah, okay. On our last episode, we took you through the harrowing abuse and pain suffered by Gypsy Rose Blanchard.
Yes.
We detailed how her mother conned the system and the world by pretending Gypsy was sick and also making her sick as well. We also talk about the horrible things Gypsy had to suffer, the unnecessary medical procedures, the beatings, the being tied up. We went into depth about how she met Nick Godejohn and followed through to the two of them conspiring and then Nick murdering Gypsy's mother, Dee Dee.
Yeah.
And we went all the way through to her and Nick's convictions and sentencing. Now, in a normal case that we cover on this show, this would be the end. We'd have split that up differently, and that would have been the end, both episodes combined. But this is not a normal case. Unless you're living under a rock, Gypsy Rose was released last December.
Yes.
And she has become a social media global megastar overnight. Like 10 million followers in 3 days.
Yeah, and then but that was on Instagram or TikTok? Because I think
That
she's
was
on
on
both,
TikTok.
right?
Yeah, she's on both, and she's ginormous on both of them. Today, we're going to be discussing her time behind bars, her release, the media tsunami that followed her when she was released. We're also going to give you some information on what she's been up to since she's come out, what her future plans are. I will warn you again, this second part is viewed very differently from me and Heather. We have conflicting opinions. We may argue, but remember, me and Heather are friends, and even if we disagree, we're not going to fall out. This will not be arguing over a released felon will not be the end of mine and Heather's friendship, even though it sound like it might be at times today.
The Saltburn thing was one thing, but this is fine. This is fine. It's fine. I've already had one friend to unfriend me in real life, so it's tough.
Yeah, I won't be doing that. I can't do true crime without. I have no drive to do true crime without you. You drag me through.
That's right. That's right.
Today we welcome you to part 2 of the Gypsy Rose Blanchard story.
Driving right now. We're driving to Chillicothe to come get you.
Oh, okay, awesome.
Are you excited?
I'm very excited.
You know, it's funny, Christy, when I was leaving, she said, look, when you pick Gypsy up, do FaceTime. We want to FaceTime her. And your dad goes, can he have a couple minutes by himself with his wife?
That's right.
That's right.
Okay, I love you.
I love you too. Mwah.
Mwah.
Love you.
Car is moving. Oh my God.
Yeah, baby, we're out. We're out.
Oh, it feels so weird being in the car.
Yeah, I get to touch your leg. Oh, I missed you.
I miss you too.
That box button down there at the bottom.
Okay.
All right. Which one you want?
Instagram.
Okay, Instagram's on the home screen.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Aw, that's so crazy. Hey everyone, this is Gypsy. I'm finally free. I just want to send a quick video to thank everyone for the massive amount of support that I've been getting on social media. Hey everyone, so this is my outfit of the day. Everything is Zara, my top, my shorts, my shoes, and my makeup was done by the lovely Miss Isabel. So I think I look pretty cute.
Oh yeah, she was deeply involved with it. I mean, just like it says in his police statements, like I said right while I was talking to them, it says just pretty much word for word what I told them. She told me before I ended up getting there in a text that there was latex gloves that be on the porch. She did say that. Right on the text it's clear as day that you can actually see it. Unfortunately, I ended up listening to my darker side because I wanted to be with her, and I remember what she said, and I wanted to believe what she was saying, and unfortunately, I should have listened to my other part of me.
Whatever. Like that, I thought we were watching a fucking rom-com because that shit was romantic, and like I don't care, but like that's what we want. God, us ladies like love us. That was come on, that's kind of romantic.
It was kind of romantic. I mean, Gypsy with Peter Griffin.
It's me, Peter Griffin.
I mean, I can't. Oh my God, this is me right now. Like I should have never. I'm the one that told you that, and now it's like. Oh, Peter. Okay.
There are 100% two trains of thought with the release of Gypsy Rose Blanchard. The first train of thought is that she was a victim forced into all of the actions that she'd done. And the court and the legal system decided to a punishment which she has now served. And she's earned the right to be free and do whatever the fuck she likes. The second train of thought is that she manipulated the whole situation. She gathered support through her parole hearing, through the aid of documentaries to portray a more nicer side to her, and basically used everyone as a pawn in the process. And she's really the mastermind behind the murder, who had dreams of fame and fortune. And she's been let out of prison and has now gained celebrity status. we are going to talk about both of these viewpoints because I hold one of these and Heather holds the other.
Well, I think that everybody knows which one you hold.
Oh,
Come
yeah,
on.
100%.
They know me and you. If you listen to the show from the very beginning until now, I'm pretty sure that you know you got a man and a woman's opinions on these things. And I think you kind of know my personality and Scott's. Like,
and I think this is something that makes us fairly unique, that we hold different opinions and we're not afraid to
we
share
do on
them.
a lot of stuff. We do on we share the same opinion on a lot of stuff, but we do differ a lot. But nothing ever gets like out of hand. It's just like, okay, dude, whatever. This is what you believe. This is what I believe, and that's like, it's an opinion, people.
Yeah.
Like, it's an opinion.
Yeah. We're going to start with Gypsy in prison. So in 2016, she was sentenced to 10 years behind bars for the part she played in her mother's murder and the attempted cover up and going on the run and everything else that happened around that time. After serving 7 years of a 10-year sentence, she was eligible for parole, while Nick would remain behind bars for 25 years plus life with no option for parole available to him. During her incarceration, she received a lot of letters. She had a lot of admirers. She had an interview recently where she divulged how many letters she got.
Yeah.
She got letters from over 250 different people across 7 continents. Who writes to people in prison? I don't get it.
Okay. Let me just take us back. Ted Bundy, Jeffrey Dahmer, like Gacy, like Richard Ramirez. Come on. They're like, this is the thing. They were having their female callers, like I think Ramirez got married in jail. And then I know Ted Bundy, like, I mean, he had sex in jail with like, and that's how he had a child. But it's that, I don't know what it is. There's some psychiatry on it. If you look into it and read about it, there is a special kind of person that has this infatuation with people like that. Now, I don't categorize Gypsy as Ted Bundy because she is not a serial killer. But at the same time, there's still that notoriety, and these people admire that, and they like that connection. As fucked up as it sounds, that's why all these serial killers had women like, I love you, I love you. No different for Gypsy, if you ask me. Like, why wouldn't she have tons of people to do that?
Yeah,
same thing.
I get it. I mean, everyone likes a bad girl.
I mean, she's not a bad girl. Boy, you better get out of here. No, she ain't. Not really.
As we know, she is now married. She's married to that guy.
It's me, Peter Griffin.
What is his name? Actually, I forgot.
His name is actually Ryan Anderson.
Ryan, okay.
Yeah, Ryan Anderson. They first started speaking in 2020 during the pandemic, where he wrote to her in prison. And it was basically, he wrote to her because lots of his friends and family were talking about her because of things like The Act that come out, and then he went
and the documentaries.
He watched the documentaries, he watched the movie, and then he was like, "Oh, do you know, it's a really, I'm gonna email her." To his surprise, he got a response, and this then led to regular telephone calls. And it would be over a year before he'd be able to actually go and meet her because of the COVID restrictions. He couldn't just, no one could go anywhere. So it wasn't until 2021 he met her. And then after 3 visits, he proposed and she accepted.
You know what I mean? Like, what you guys to lose? I'll probably say yes too. Like, okay.
If I was in prison, 100%, I'll accept any wedding proposal I get.
It's just like the male serial killers, right? Them proposing. Like those women, Scott, they were never going to have, a lot of them didn't have any type of conjugal visits, but like not even that. They weren't going to get out of prison and be with that person. So of course they're like, oh yeah, I'll marry him. Who cares?
Yeah, but this was a bit different because Gypsy was going to get out of prison.
Yes, so she was. Yes.
He was genuinely proposing to, I want to marry this girl, which is lovely. And I'm not knocking on that.
Yeah.
They were married in the prison in July of 2022 in a ceremony that had no guests, only prison guards.
Yes.
And this is something that Gypsy said that within the first 6 months of coming out, she wanted to redo and have a proper wedding with family and friends.
Yeah.
We've not seen it yet. and it's not been mentioned of any wedding plans, but I
No, it's
imagine
not been 6 months yet either, so maybe
no. I imagine Gypsy Rose's wedding is going to be ginormous. This will be the most covered wedding since a royal wedding.
Ugh, I I don't know. I don't even know what to say.
She's going to have Vera Wang doing her dress.
Who
She
Vera
will.
Wang?
Vera Wang.
What? No, she's gonna have what did she say that thing? Her outfit, whatever.
Zara.
She gonna have Target.
Yeah.
Y'all get out of here. Vera Wang ain't gonna make her damn dress. No.
This is not her first engagement. So previous to this, she was dating a guy called Ken.
I'm just Ken. Anywhere else I'd be 10.
I haven't seen that yet. I haven't seen it. I want to rent it, but it was like $20 to rent. And I was like, is it worth it?
I never thought I'd say this on a true crime episode, but Barbie is 100% worth the $20. I loved it.
I love Ryan Gosling. Like, y'all better. I don't care about the Notebook. It is what it is. People don't like that movie. Whatever. I still like it. It's fine. It's toxic, but like, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna try to watch it in the next week. I want to see it. Anyways.
Yeah, Ryan Gosling earned his supporting actor Oscar nomination for it.
I mean,
so
he
good.
looks like Ken. Like,
Yeah.
if you think of a Ken doll, and then like Margot Robbie, of course, which she's involved in Saltburn. Okay, I'll stop talking about Saltburn.
So he had been writing and visiting her
Yes.
since 2017, and in October 2018 he proposed. And
Yeah.
Gypsy said, "Yes, this is great." Something they'd discussed for a long time, and she wanted to marry him. Now, in 2019, the engagement got called off because they had difference in opinion over what would happen when Gypsy was released. So Ken wanted to basically whisk Gypsy away and have a quiet life away from the spotlight.
Yeah.
And Gypsy's plan was to be in the limelight. She wanted to come out and advocate for Munchausen syndrome by proxy and
Yeah.
basically take that stage because she knew she had a platform.
Mm-hmm.
He did change his mind, and the couple basically rekindled their issues, and they were back together. Right up until Ken heard that she had married Peter Griffin. Until she married Ryan. So Ken was still convinced he was with Gypsy. He'd been to visit her only a couple of weeks before.
Yeah.
And then found out she'd married Ryan.
No.
I want to add that that's not confirmed, but that has just come from Ken's mouth. It's Ken that said,
I read.
together.
It's an interview they did with him. Of course, the issue with putting that as facts is it's hard to know because it's just coming from the person, and we didn't see him talk about it on air or anything. We're literally reading an article. I probably read the same one I did about that, and it's like, yeah, it's all he said, she said stuff, but I mean, he didn't have his D wasn't fire.
We're getting to that. I've got that in my notes. Jesus Christ. Like, at what point was that a good idea for her to do that? That got her as much notoriety as the crime she committed.
I'm just going to say that I don't know. Let's just continue. I'm going to think about that because I don't want to say anything mean, but like I have a reason for why I think she says some of the shit she says.
Yeah, I'm going to go with a reason too. My reason is mental illness.
Well, no, that we are going to agree on that I think socially as well, she's not fully formed socially at the right intelligence level, like maturity level. She's 27, right? 27? Yeah. Okay. I think her mind is more like 17, 18.
Yeah.
Kind of like on the cusp of a young adult, but like, not there. Not there quite.
She's behaving how I would behave had I become globally famous at 18.
And I think that's what, I get that. I understand that it looks the way it looks. I'm going to say that. But I get it because I don't think she has the option to act any more mature than she is, if quote unquote, because she can't really.
Yeah. And I'll take that. I think that's a fair comment. Now, I mentioned earlier that the court of public opinion had a massive hand in her release.
Yes,
And
it is.
I am going to say now 100% Gypsy Rose Blanchard orchestrated the events that I am now going to talk you through. So in the lead up to her parole hearing, there were several hard-hitting and in some cases fabricated accounts of what led to her incarceration and her release.
Yeah.
So the first was 2007, Mummy Dead and Dearest,
Yes.
which in my opinion is a very one-sided slant and painting of the story to the point that Nick Godejohn in that documentary is painted as the monster. Now, this
Yeah.
was followed in 2019 by The Act, which is fabulous, and
Is
it
it?
really is fab, but it's wildly inaccurate. Their portrayal of Dee Dee and Nick, they even go as far as to fabricate events and exclude others,
Mm-hmm.
paint Gypsy more as the victim than she actually was, and she was a victim. And I'm going to say it here. I'm going to do it now because if I do it later, it feels unheartfelt. So where I stand on this is Gypsy is 100% a victim. What she went through is horrific. She is the victim of a terrible mental illness suffered by her mum. She went through unthinkable treatment at the hands of her primary caregiver, the person, a person to trust, their parent. And she was put through unnecessary medical procedures. She was locked in a relationship of dependence with her mum. And everything that she portrayed out to the world was forced upon her, and it was all fake.
Yeah.
I get that. But the second she conspired with someone else to murder her mother is where my opinions start to change. And I start to get suspicious when I watch the police interview tapes and she's sobbing her heart out while she's being interviewed. And then the detective leaves the room and she stops. And it doesn't really add up to me. It kind of feels like almost like she orchestrated everything and she knew she had a patsy in Nick, which is why she kept her hands actually clean of the murder. And I genuinely think that she orchestrated everything, knowing she was going to do time, but knowing if she kept the blood off of her hands,
she would do less time.
She would do less time and she would actually be released. And I can't get over that. That is, to me, that is, it's Charles Manson level of manipulation and pre-planning. And that's what I struggle with. I see
my eyes twitching.
I see Charles Manson in her. The fact she orchestrated everything down to there's your gloves, there's your knife. I'm going to go in the bathroom. You're going to go kill my mum. We're going to go on the run. When she got arrested, the fake tears in interviews, followed by oh, fuck it. I'm going to take a plea deal. That means I don't have to testify against Nick.
Yeah, no.
But if I throw him under the bus, I get much less of a sentence. They take away the additional criminal charges for going on the run, which is 25 years on its own. And I'll be out in 10.
That's kind of crazy. That I don't know, like the justice system is stupid, but that seems a little much. The extra 25 years just for abating or whatever they call it. I don't know. Like that sounds silly.
And I can't get past that. I can't get past the fact that she orchestrated it, yet she is out walking free and Nick is sat in a prison cell. That's where I struggle. It's my opinion. It's everyone.
Yeah, no, I know.
Where are you? Where are you with it?
God damn it. Anyways, okay. So I want to first say that whenever you discuss and you're talking about it and you're like, she orchestrated and she has like this, intelligence of like a Charles Manson kind of thing. Well, I want to say that I don't think Charles Manson was extremely bright. I think he was pretty stupid. And I also think that if you think about it in this way, this won't sway your opinion, and nor am I trying to. But I think if you think about it in this way, Gypsy still to this day does not really have, I don't believe she's on the level necessarily of a 27-year-old mentally, emotionally, like everything, intelligence wise. So if you think about it, if you watch enough true crime shows, you see a lot of, like when like kids kill and stuff like that. They do stupid shit, Scott. They might orchestrate this whole thing, right? Because they think in their mind, this is going to work. This is solid. And it always fucking doesn't. And they get caught. And part of me wonders, and I don't know that we have covered it. I don't think we did. And I don't know if we could even find out. But part of me wonders if she didn't watch some like fucking crime shows and think, I'll do this because like what you see on TV, a lot of people that are not very intelligent, they will use that as their plan. So for me, I'm not trying to say, oh, what she did was fine. It was fine. No. I'm not saying that. She should still be responsible. She did do her jail time, although on some people's opinion, it may not be enough. And I do understand that Nick is still in jail. Like, I know that. Like, he's not going to get out anytime soon, most likely, probably for a long time. I understand that too. And I understand, but you have to understand this. There is a choice in the matter. And she maybe did persuade him sexually, but I also don't think that either one of them, like, he's autistic. They're not making the best decisions. And part of me is like, did he do it out of like lust for her? That's the thing. It was still his choice. I do not believe that Gypsy was like, had that much power over him. But I think that because he's even said it himself, like he still kind of like is infatuated with her a little bit. Like he loved her. And I think on that spectrum, since you and I don't know what having an autistic brain would be like, we don't have the same thoughts as him. We don't know what, like, I know what I would do in a situation. Nobody's going to have me do anything, and you neither. But for Nick, maybe he was like, holy shit, I'm in love with this girl and she's amazing. And not, I think what it is, they don't see what their repercussions, consequences could be. Gypsy, a little more so, but I feel like she lived in a fantasy world. I mean, she fucking was like 19 and her mama's telling her she like 12. Yeah. And it's just, that's what I think. Again, I'm not trying to take up for her. I'm just saying, you have to see it from different perspectives. And that's the whole point of this case. It's called perspective. And
I'm not hating on Gypsy. She's done her time. She is free. She can do whatever the hell she likes.
Yeah, true.
But I view all of it slightly different because I think she should have got a different sentence. But hey, we are where we are.
Oh, wait, she maybe should have got more time. Is that what it is? You think she should have maybe got her full 10 years and not gotten out at 7?
I think she should have got 25 years for murder, first-degree murder, not being given a lesser charge.
And I will say this too. I don't remember what state they were in. What state? Oh, fuck, why did I forget what state they were in?
But they were potentially facing the death penalty.
No. In each state, I know that each state will have their different circumstantial stuff. Like if you are caught with the person that murdered as a bystander, you will still receive a similar sentence, and that could just be a law, like a state thing, like how they. No,
her charges were reduced because of the plea deal she done, where she gave.
Oh well, yeah, in the plea deal, but so I guess we don't need to go back on this all the way because we're trying to move forward. But like, did Nick not get a plea deal?
No.
Am I missing something? See, that might be where I can say that I would find that a tad unfair.
Yeah.
Not to say like, oh, he killed somebody, he should just not get treated bad. No, that's not what I mean. He did something wrong. He still should serve his time. But yeah, he didn't get the option for that. Okay.
No, and
that's weird.
Her parole hearing, honestly, at the point it got to parole, there was so much public sympathy and so much interest in the case. I honestly don't think the parole board had another option but to grant her parole. That there was so much pressure on them. Had they gone, actually, you're going to spend the remaining 3 years of your sentence in, I think they would have been inundated with complaints and protests. And
yeah.
The thing I struggle with specifically with this is there were no parole conditions. There were some travel conditions, but there was no condition that she had to seek any sort of mental health help or any sort of counseling or anything like that. It was just, okay, fine, you're out. this parole hearing's in September. We're going to release you on the 28th of December. And after that, go on your merry way. And
Yeah.
in my opinion, I think that given the fact that she's had a shut-in life for her entire life, confined with her mother, she's gone from that prison-like environment into an actual prison environment
Yes.
to then be released into the world and have no restrictions on what you can and can't do. There has to be some sort of mental health or counseling assistance just to explain like how different your life is going to be.
Yeah, because it's a different world, and you say that she has no like. I mean, she should still have boundaries, even living on the outside world. Of course, she should, because she shouldn't be allowed a special treatment necessarily, right? Because just because she's like of celebrity status and whatever. But my thing is like I don't know how that's going to work. Like if they could have done stuff with her in jail, and I don't know that she really has. I know we said it earlier, so I don't want to backtrack and be a liar. I don't know that I would really classify her though. Now that I'm really thinking about it, like, does she really have a mental illness, or is it more? That she just is not at the level of a regular, normal, functioning adult. So there's a difference. You saying someone has mental illness, but also I think it's cognitive. I think that like her brain can only function to a certain level because of the abuse that her mom put her through. Like if you think about it, like her mom was making her act like a baby. Like so she did not have the skills to say, okay. It's like if someone says something outlandish in public and they don't have that like filter to be like, okay, you don't say that my ding-a-ling, like you don't talk like that around certain people. That's what it is. I'm trying to find the right word. She don't have any like
there's
caution.
no filter, no buffer,
no, nothing at all.
And this is the thing. I mean, she is now a social media megastar. There's no getting around it. She's got 9.5 or nearly 10 million followers on TikTok, almost 9 million followers on Instagram. And she shares daily posts and stories and videos of her life. And she pushes hard on advertising her book and her new TV series that's coming. There's talk of a Kardashians-like show where they're going to follow her around.
I'm not watching that. I mean, it's like, no offense, but I'm not even watching the Kardashians. Like, I could care less.
She is one of the most divisive people on the internet. And all you need to do is pick any one of her posts and have a quick scroll of the comments. And you will see there are people who love her and people who really don't. But there's something quite endearing about her social media. And it's the fact that occasionally she'll see a nasty comment and she claps back and takes no fucking prisoners. Something I advocate for strongly, and I do myself.
I mean,
one of her clapbacks went viral as fuck. The comment that she made had more likes than our entire social media back catalog
ever, like in the world.
So someone made a nasty comment on one of Ryan's.
It's me, Peter Griffin.
One of his posts.
It was you.
He posted a picture of himself, and someone made a nasty comment, and Gypsy jumped in and went for the kill. So what she replied was, Ryan, I'm going to read it verbatim, exactly how she wrote it. Ryan, don't listen to the haters. I love you, and you love me. We do not owe anyone anything. Our family is who matters. If you get the likes, good. Comments, great. If you get the hate, then whatever, because, and then in all caps, they don't matter. I love you. Besides, they are jealous that you are rocking my world every night. Yeah, I said it. The D is fire. Happy wife, happy life. Thoughts?
The D is fire. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if his D is fire. Like, I have no idea. He's not my type. Like, I don't like cartoon characters. Oh my God, we're getting canceled. Like, stop it. No, that's so fucking mean. I can't. I don't even know what's wrong with me. I think because I lost a friend. I don't know. Anyways, he's not my type, but like, you go, girl. Like, if she's getting hers and she's happy, I mean, I guess like people look, Scott. I watch reels, and there are gorgeous women. You know, like just people. I mean, like I don't even know, and they get so people or something's wrong with people, because
Yeah.
like they do leave mean comments on, like, it'll be like, say a mom reel, right? It'll be something like the mom being like, I don't know, sleep training or some shit. She just put up a reel, like, no big deal. In the comments, I go to the comments and I'm like, Jesus Christ, it's not your kid. Like, people are just trash. So
Yeah.
in this situation, 100% they're going to go for the juggler every time.
And I'll be honest, I am fully behind Gypsy here. When she slaps back, she really
That's
hits
pretty
hard.
good, because I think, like I said, the past is the past, right? I mean, like, at least she is standing up for these her man,
Yeah.
because that is wrong. Like, it doesn't matter. And like, no, that
See-
time I got that mean comment. That dude was so rude to me. Like, I don't even know why. Like, I never even talked to him in my entire life, and he was so rude.
Was that the person that I then done a reel
Mhm.
and outed
Mhm.
them? Yeah, I remember. The thing is, though, that's not my favorite response she's given online.
Yeah.
My favorite response from Gypsy is someone really went in on hard on her, like a whole paragraph comment,
Yeah.
and her reply was, "That's nice,
Yeah,
fabulous."
she petty as fuck. And I like
Yeah.
that, because look, my name is Petty Patty.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. Like, I get it. She has to do what she's got to do. And
Yeah, and
you know,
good for her. You've got to be thick-skinned, especially if you're of that
swear.
status.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
She describes herself as an online public figure, public speaker, author, advocating about Munchausen syndrome by proxy,
Mhm.
which is fine. You can call yourself whatever you want online, I guess.
I mean, yeah,
'cause,
you can.
she has such a big platform now, and she's under such scrutiny from social media and
Yeah.
the public and interviews, and she's done a lot of interviews. Like, it's almost like a book tour since she's come out. We're talking like and she's been on the entertainment channel. She's done the biggest podcasts in the world. She's done like everything she can to talk about a book.
Joe Rogan?
Not yet. It's going to happen. 100% it's going to happen.
Do you think I don't get that vibe that he would have her on his show? He
100% he would,
You
because
think
he
so?
would.
You think
Yeah, because he would take it as an opportunity to attack her. So
well, yeah, he's a little guy. Yeah, he needs
Yeah.
that. He's got to
yeah,
do it.
little man syndrome. He needs to pick on a small girl.
Yeah. Yes.
Next, we're going to talk about the movement that has just started in the last week, which is the movement to cancel Gypsy.
I tried to look into this, but I swear I didn't really see. Like, I don't know. Is this you? You started it.
No, I didn't start it. But
Okay,
before we do
okay.
that, we're going to take a quick break. Calling all Red Dwarf fans. Do you struggle to find a good podcast that covers Red Dwarf? Struggle no longer. The Aardvark and the Magic Moshi Do Red Dwarf is the ultimate guide to the Red Dwarf universe, covering individual episodes and discussion about the series as a whole, even featuring guests who've appeared in the series itself. Available on all good podcast platforms and yourunpodcast.com. Please note, smegheads need not apply. Make sure you go out and check out the Aardvark and Magic
Yes.
Moshi Do Red Dwarf. Also, all of the other shows on the You Run Podcast Network,
Mhm.
yourunpodcast.com. Click on there. You'll find our shows and everyone else's shows. Go and give a couple a listen. You'll find some you like. Where were we? Oh, yeah, cancel Gypsy. That's right. We were there.
Whatever. I mean,
Now, however you feel about cancel culture, it is 100% now a thing.
yeah,
You say
it
the
is.
wrong thing or do the wrong thing, it's all over. And how we haven't been
Mhm.
cancelled is beyond me. But
We're not at that caliber. I believe that's why. I mean, I hope that lots of people like to listen to us, but like, obviously we're not Gypsy Rose. Like,
No.
we're not up there.
Gypsy is starting to feel the start of a wave where there are people who want to push her from the limelight.
Mhm.
And rightly or wrongly, I think they probably will succeed with this. I don't think
Really?
it's necessarily right or wrong. However you see this, I don't think it's right to push anyone from the limelight. But hey, so people, including me, have started to notice certain behaviours of hers on social media and in interviews where she gives away a little bit more about herself than she would probably like. So, especially with Ryan, it's things that where she's with Ryan. So,
Mhm.
without a doubt, she wears the trousers in a relationship. She is boss. And There's nothing wrong with that. Lisa is boss in our relationship. I'm 100% confident that Heather wears the trousers in Louisiana.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I do. Yes, sir. I
Yeah.
make all the executive decisions with everything.
Yeah, and
I really do.
Yeah, and overrule bad decisions, and just basically make sure everything
I
runs
mean, I do
smoothly.
everything. I do everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Which is fine, and there's nothing wrong with that. But Gypsy has been caught several times now doing things that are not necessarily the best behavior. So
Mhm.
in an interview she done recently, when she doesn't want him to speak, she will squeeze his arm. But we're not talking like a gentle, like, squeeze of the arm. We're talking like
Yeah.
dig nails in, fucking shut up now kind of squeeze. In the interview she done with E, you could
Mhm.
hear her mutter under her breath, "Okay, stop talking now."
I'm
Like
gonna
clear
have
as
to
day.
go in here. I guess I didn't watch those, which makes me a bad podcaster or investigator. But like I didn't because I guess I don't really watch those kind of channels or see that kind of stuff. So
No,
unless I'm looking for it.
see, I stumbled across the E interview and I started watching it, and I was kind of watching it while I was doing other
Okay.
things. And they were asking about like Gypsy being free, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I'm free now." It's really funny. It's like I went into prison at 19 and now I've come out and I've like lost 10 years. And then her husband turned around and went, "And you didn't go to school," like insinuating she's a little bit thick. And she squeezed his arm and went, "Okay, shut up now."
Well, I mean, that's what I was
I,
getting to. Like, he's not wrong. Like, I don't think she did go to school, right? Like, not
no,
really, not
no.
like normal. Yeah. And that's the thing. Dee Dee tried to teach her, but Dee Dee was not exceptionally bright either. And that's what I'm telling you, Scott. That's why I think, like, it was like Dumb and Dumber is who murdered her mom. I'm serious. Like, that's exactly like they did not have the smarts.
No.
They just didn't. It doesn't
I,
mean that what they did is fine. It's not. It's you still
no.
did something bad, but like pretty
I,
stupid.
when they're out in public, she'll often cut him off and step in front of him to talk, sort of blocking him from the camera. And
Hmm.
I noticed this. They went to a wrestling event. They went to
I saw
AEW's
that.
wrestling event.
Uh-huh.
And there's an interview backstage where they're meeting various different wrestlers. And one of the wrestlers went to shake her husband's hand, and she
Mhm.
pretty much jumped in front of him, and went, "Hi, I'm Gypsy. Shake my hand." And it was, I kind of went, "Oh, you poor
It's
guy."
it's this dear. It's like a child. Like if you took your 13-year-old or 12-year-old, let's say, and then they do something stupid, they interrupt you or cut you off. But they
Yeah.
don't have that like ability quite yet. Their brain is still developing. And
And this is where I'm getting. I am convinced that Gypsy wants to grow in fame and popularity. And I don't think she's mentally equipped to deal with the
no,
fame she has now,
yeah.
let alone what will come later. And the idea of a reality show following her all the time, 24 hours a day, like the Kardashians, I don't think it's good for her as a person, and definitely not good for their relationship. It's not good for anyone's relationship.
Well, they won't last most likely.
I,
That he can only be on fire for so long, and it's going to be burnt out.
by Christmas, because she's now moving in circles of other
Well,
celebrities, and
it,
I think there will
yeah,
be a transition where she will ditch poor Ryan, and she will move on to someone who has. I'm not talking like an A-list celebrity, but someone who's
no,
got a little
no.
bit more notoriety, who people know who they are, and I think she'll end up in like a celebrity couple situation.
I don't know with who. Like, I'm not talking about nobody's looks, but like Ariana Grande. Like, do you see that dude that she's with, the
Yeah,
new guy?
the D is
Okay, so
fire.
look, she a home wrecking little hoe. He was married and like had a baby on the way, or either had a baby or some shit. But like, he looks like what I think an orange crayon tastes like. Like, come on. He is not giving any fire D. Like, hello, bye, cancel me. I don't care. But like, I get what you're saying. Gypsy could pull someone different,
Yeah,
but I don't even know if it's that. I just think she's probably clinging on to the first thing that like would give her attention.
Yeah.
Because like I'm sorry, but regardless if she doesn't have Munchausen, but like her like she's probably got some issues possibly from her mother, like how she was raised. Look how she's acting now. She's kind of trying to control Ryan.
Yeah.
It's me, Peter Griffin.
That too.
There's a couple more things I want to cover before we go. There's a few more things surrounding this, not so much on Gypsy, but things that are surrounding it. One is Munchausen syndrome by proxy.
Yes.
It's super interesting. I know it's something that you want to talk about as well. And the other is Nick Godejohn. And also I want to talk about the possibility of a sibling relationship here. I think we'll start with the sibling relationship. So there is a rumor that has started to circulate online that our friend Peter Griffin, Ryan, may actually be his half brother.
Yeah, I saw it on TikTok, Scott. I was looking at reels and then it was like one of those for your page things. Because like I don't actually like get on TikTok. So I saw it on Instagram. So because I'm old. So like 2 weeks later, I'm sure it's been going around. That's how it works. When you're older, you look at shit on Instagram. And then when you're younger, you're on TikTok.
Yeah.
But like from what I'm gathering, because the girl wasn't very informative, but basically it was trying to say like, I guess that Gypsy's mom, Dee Dee, had messed around with somebody else. I don't know. Like I'm telling you, it doesn't go into a whole lot of detail. But like then they did the comparison of the side by side, and you're like,
yeah.
But then they say like Gypsy may have married him because he looks so much like her mom, as like this weird like comfort thing. And it's weird. I don't know if I really think they're like half siblings.
No.
It could just be a weird coincidence. I don't really believe that because people start shit all the time online and rumors, but
yeah, but it's definitely bizarre. And when you put him next to Dee Dee, the comparison
and they look like that looks like his mama.
Yeah, it's very, very uncanny.
It's weird.
That's pure speculation, so we'll move away from that.
Yeah, we don't know yet.
We'll talk about Munchausen syndrome by proxy. In its most basic form, it is a mental illness that affects the primary caregiver of a child. 90% of the time, that is the mother.
Yes.
And it will cause the caregiver to make up medical symptoms or, in severe cases, cause medical symptoms to make their child appear or actually be ill.
Yes.
Now, there's no clinical diagnosis as to why this happens, but professionals speculate that it may be due to neglect or abuse in the childhood of the parent. It is a super rare condition. And when I say rare,
it's like 1%.
Yeah, less than 1% make the criteria to be categorized with this mental illness. And it ranges so wildly as well. So there is varying different levels of this. It can be as simple as a child waking up hot and the caregiver instantly assuming that it is a cold or a virus and keeping them off sick from school and medicating them with various different
but just a little more medicine than they need, not to overdose them, but to basically just let's give you a little extra. Yeah, they're being like, you want to look at it from an outsider perspective, would look at it in not a severe case as them being a little overprotective, a little coddling them a little much.
Yeah, and it's something that I can see is something very easy to fall in. I'm a very nervous parent. So
I mean, me too at times. Yeah.
So when our daughter was younger, she had a femoral seizure. And anyone who doesn't know what that is, that's when a child gets too hot.
A fever too high.
And their body doesn't know how to deal with it. So what their body does is their body switches everything off.
Yep.
And then reboots them. As a parent, seeing my daughter go blue in our kitchen while her grandmother was trying to give her mouth to mouth and trying to revive her after she'd been down for 30, 40 seconds is the most terrifying thing I've ever experienced. And still now, if one of my kids gets a temperature, I'm like, oh shit, you're hot. Oh, zap! Like I'm there with the thermometer every 2 seconds, like zapping
Yeah,
the head.
because it's, but I will say, like, older children, you don't really have to worry about it. But
No.
like younger like babies, like Campbell's age, same thing. He had a fever that was like 104, and I immediately thought I was going to die. Like I was going to die, and like he didn't have a seizure, but like I rushed him to the emergency room, and they were like, "He's fine." Like he has a fever, but like he's fine. It's a good thing sometimes because he's like basically fighting off any infection. He didn't have anything. And they gave him some like Tylenol and he was fine after that. And did I feel stupid? No, not really. Because like, again, I knew about the seizures and some children get them. And I was scared. Like, what would I do? I'd fucking lose my shit. I'd freak out. I would just freak out.
I'm a very level-headed and controlled person. And in that moment, I was
Not
fucking useless.
that.
I just sat there going, I had no idea what to do. Exactly that. But I can see how it is something that you could fall into if you had a child who was constantly ill. I can see how this mental illness could develop. But that's a mild form of it.
Yeah.
When you go to an extreme form of it, this could be a parent using a syringe to take blood from their child to then inject it into a stool sample to take to the doctors to confuse the doctors.
Yeah, to make them think that the baby has something going on with them.
Yeah. There's one common factor with all of this, with this entire syndrome, is it is the desire of the caregiver to get sympathy. So it's them who's suffering with the mental illness. You need to remember that they're affecting and in some cases hurting their child, but it's them who have the mental illness themselves.
Yes.
And they're doing this because they want professionals and people in their personal life to show them attention and to kind of put an arm around them and go, it's okay, it will be all right. And it's a horrible when you look at it that way, it's a horrible mental illness. This is a person who needs someone to reassure them all the time. And the only way they can get that is by doing something horrible to their child, which is unthinkable. But it's sad because that person needs that help.
Yeah.
It is. The more I read up about it, the more I was like, this is actually tragic. It's a tragic mental illness to have.
It is. And luckily, I say luckily, like it's not common. It's not something that a new mother, I think I said it before, like it's not something that like a new mother has to worry about because it's not like postpartum depression or postpartum anxiety or something like that. That's pretty common. But just PSA, if any of you mamas out there are pregnant, have a fresh baby, just understand that you need to seek help immediately because there are other things such as postpartum rage and postpartum psychosis, which has caused women to kill their children. Yeah. So like obviously reach out, get the help if you need it. This is the thing with that syndrome though, because it's so rare, they don't know. And it's not like if you go to a doctor, they're going to say, oh yeah, that's immediately what it is. It takes a little bit of it takes some time for it to build up.
Yeah.
And for them to know, because on the outside, the mom is not going to look. It's not going to seem like that.
No. And it's something that if you're in a close relationship with a mom or a dad and you see something like this that you're maybe concerned about, like broach it with them, have the conversation with them, because had someone had that conversation with Dee Dee, maybe none of this would have happened. If one of her friends has sat down and gone, look, I don't think Gypsy's actually that sick, and maybe we need to talk about it. Are you okay? Maybe if it was someone close enough, that would have sparked a conversation that could have prevented all of this. So if you see symptoms like this and you see a friend who's struggling, speak to them. It's really simple. Just have a conversation. They may tell you to fuck off and get out, but the chances are they'll open up to you.
Well, if you and if you know the person and if you've known the child for however long and you knew that like upon the child being born, that's the thing. Gypsy wasn't born with anything wrong with her like that.
No.
Yeah, sometimes things happen as children develop. I understand that. it's not super common, but it can happen. But congenital, like stuff like it's like that happens when you're born.
Yeah,
You
some of the
don't
things
just
that
get a disease. Like it's some of the things, yes, you have to have been born with them. And then they don't show up until a little later. But like some of it just doesn't make sense, of course. So
no. Let's talk about Nick Godejohn, or the forgotten prisoner, as I now
mm,
refer to him.
yeah.
Again, before we get into this, I'm going to preface this by saying Nick deserves his sentence for his crimes.
Yeah, he should be. I agree. Yes.
Personally, I think the additional 25 years for going on the run and posting things on Facebook was a little bit severe, considering none of that was imposed on Gypsy.
Yeah.
But he 100% deserves life in prison for taking another life.
Yeah.
And by no stretch of the imagination do I think he should be released next week, in 10 years' time, or in 15 years' time. I don't think he's safe to be in the public.
Yeah, I'm not sure that would be something I would worry about him reoffending if he got into that situation. But
Yeah.
I don't think on his own he would reoffend. Like
No,
if it, you know what I'm saying? Like I do think it took someone else in a situation to bring him that courage, quote unquote, not courage, but the balls to do what he did, basically.
Yeah, but again, I think if he was released, I don't think it would take long for a pretty girl to sway him that he would go and do it again. I don't think I think he would reoffend. After being sentenced, Gypsy and Nick remained a couple, believe it or not. They were in regular contact and they would talk to each other. From everything I can uncover, they were in a happy relationship still. This was until 2019 when Gypsy started talking to.
I'm just Ken. Anywhere else I'd be a 10.
You are a 10 in my heart, Ken.
And this was all. So he says that she started talking to Ken because she heard rumors that Nick was dating another man in prison, and she end to the relationship. Now, bear in mind, this is 2019. She's calling it end to their relationship. She started seeing Ken in 2018. She'd been seeing him for a year before she ditched.
Scott, math is
double
hard.
standards. Double standards.
Math is hard.
I
don't know.
Nick is still serving his sentence and will be for the foreseeable future. In 2019, he'd done an interview where he said he still loves Gypsy, and he always will. Adding that
it was weird.
It was, and he added that the time they had together before the murder, so the 3 or 4 times that they had spent time together before, are the best times of his life, which is sad.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, that's sad too. I'm not. That's poor guy. Is all I can say. I'm going to say it. Poor guy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There has been renewed interest in this case, obviously with Gypsy's release, and there has been several experts claiming that Nick has a case for retrial or even potential dismissal because of the charges that he received, and he had mental health issues that were kept from the court in the original trial. Also, the fact that they feel that the plea agreement was done underhandedly, and that because of that, Nick could earn a retrial. And the question I have for you, which kind of I think is a really difficult question to answer, did Gypsy ever actually care for Nick, or did she use him purely as a means to an end to get out of the situation she was in?
Okay, that's like a double-edged sword.
It is a very double-edged sword, hence why I worded it that way.
That is hard as fuck to answer, even an opinion based, which is going to be anybody's answer anyways, your opinion, because you can't factually answer that unless you're Gypsy Rose. And even then, I'm not sure she can factually answer that herself. Let me see if I can conjure up a thought. So I think that at the time that she met Nick, which I know they met online, it was some Christian website or dating website. I think in the moment at that time, she was feeling what she thought could have been love. And it was like, I like this. It feels good because we all like to be loved. Don't care, even you motherfuckers out there. Like, if you salty, you still like it. You like to feel wanted. And I think she was thinking she was feeling understood, and like he was gonna protect her, because that's kind of what he told her. Like you're my queen, right? The princess, because she liked the Rapunzel shit, which again, like I said, not adult up here. So I don't know that I can 100% say that she just used him in the way, like, to manipulate him to kill her mother. I don't think it's that black and white. We have this whole area of gray, and you guys, we got 50 shades of it. Okay.
Yeah. And she done, so in one of her latest interviews, they asked how she felt about Nick. And she said that, I'm going to quote her now.
Okay.
I wish him well on his journey.
He's already in jail?
Yeah, she wished.
Girl, come on.
She understands that he's done a crime and he's serving a sentence for it, and she wishes him well with that journey.
I think she picked that's an inspirational quote you buy at the dollar store and put it up on above your cabinet. That's what I don't know what she's thinking. That's what I'm saying.
It's bad. So there you have it, folks. Extended cut. I personally do not think this will be the last time we discuss Gypsy Rose Blanchard on this podcast.
I think we'll probably have a re-up on it at some point. I mean, especially if shit starts going off, like popping off. There we go.
Yeah, I think we will, but I hope I'm wrong. I hope that she has a wonderful life and this doesn't happen. And as she said to Nick, I wish her well on her journey.
Yeah, there you go. Bye.
Today we've had two very different opinions, and we didn't argue, which is good.
We didn't really. We were listening to each other, because I think that we're at that level where we have respect, and we know, like, that you're wrong sometimes. Just kidding, guys. Just kidding. No, we really were. That's the thing. It's an opinion. And literally, social media will tell us who is right or wrong, because we'll see if she fucks up.
Yo, we will, 100%.
He does some crazy shit. We'll find out.
Share your thoughts on this case. Drop us an email, yourunpodcast@gmail.com, or record us an audio DM. You could do that on any social media that we're on. We're at You Run Podcast on all of them. And if there's a microphone icon where you send a DM, push it and hold it down and speak. And that's how you send a DM.
Yes.
Until next time, where we will be covering the Slender Man stabbing.
I thought we were okay.
Yeah, so our poll that is current as we record now is currently out. It's the Tiger King, Joe Exotic, or the stabbing.
I know.
The Slender Man stabbing is winning by an absolute landslide.
So we're going to go ahead and predict that's probably going to be our next case. I was really
it would be
bangers. I had a perfect shirt for that episode.
It would be a miracle if Joe Exotic won that poll now. If he does, it would be a surprise next time.
I don't know what's wrong with you people, but like the Slender Man thing, it was just a bunch of fucking kids that needed their ass beat.
That's for next time. Let's talk about it next time.
Anyways.
Until then, I'm handing over to you to sign us off and say goodbye. Fancy a Gypsy Rose song? Got Gypsy Rose song lurking?
No, I don't know any of that shit. We're gonna bring back songs one day. I need to stop yelling. We're going to bring back songs. I need to bring them back, right? But anyways, you guys, as always, I hope that everyone enjoyed listening. Okay, because we need you to listen. And until next time, I need you guys to stay safe, stay spooky, and remember, if that D isn't fire, let them go. Bye.